Today in our lesson, we are going to learn how to enter formulas into our worksheet. And like it is said before, every formula must begin with an equal sign. This informs Excel that you've entered a formula but not a text. If you write any formula without the equal sign, it's only a text as Excel recognizes. But if you enter the equal sign before the text, then it becomes a formula. And so Excel provides two ways to enter a formula into a cell. That is either manually or by pointing to Excel references. Okay, and so manually you can enter a formula like maybe you can write something like equal sign, then sum. You open parenthesis and say you want to sum the values from A1 all the way to A10, and then you can press enter. Here there are no values here, so Excel will give the result here as 0. Okay, and so this is an example of how you can manually enter a formula. On the other hand, Excel provides additional assistance when you create formulas by displaying a drop-down list that contains function names and range names. Okay, so for instance, when you are entering a formula and then you type the letters, so equal sign, you type the letters SU. Now what you see is a drop-down list to show the matching functions, and then you can select the formula you wish to enter by double clicking on which one of them you need from the drop-down list. It is called formula autocomplete. So if I want to use the sum, just like I indicated here, something like that, so I just double click and it will enter and open the parentheses for me to type in my range from say A1 all the way to say A10, and I close the parentheses and then press enter, and I'll get a result as 0 because there are no values. Another scenario that is worth considering is the use of the arrow keys to point to the cell or cells you wish to apply a formula. And so if I want to enter a formula into this particular cell F8 and I open the parenthesis, now I can use the arrow key. So I can use the up, the left, right and down arrow keys, and I'll be able to locate which cell I wish to add. Okay, and so let's see how this is done. So for instance, I have selected this particular cell. I type an equal to sign to begin a formula, then I press the up arrow key, and see, when I press it, this is what happens. Great, there is a dashed border line which appears around the cell above where I want to enter the formula. It has captured that one as F7. So I can just move the arrow keys up, 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 right, 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 down, 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 left, 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 and then I'll be able to locate which cell I wish to specify in the function. So for instance, I want to use this particular cell, which is E11, and then I will just type my plus and see what happens. Now I can also use my arrow keys to move away from that formula to select which cell I wish to add up to this one, and so I can just press the up again. Great, it has changed into another color with a dash border line around the cell, and so I can just move it around, and let's say this one is H6, and so it has captured it here, and now I'm done with the formula because I want to add these two cells, E11 and H6, and I just press enter and the result is 0 because there are no values in either cell. And so that is how we do it. And then we can also have to note that the easiest way to enter a function into a formula is to use the formula autocomplete, and I've shown you what the autocomplete actually is. That is the menu or the drop-down list that Excel displays while you type the formula. And to use that particular method, you must know at least the first and or the second character of the function. And so if you want to use the autocomplete, the formula autocomplete, you enter your equal sign and then you just type in the first or the second character of the function of the formula that you wish to use. And so let's say SU, and it will display, and as you keep on typing, it will shorten the menu. So if I type only SC, it has a longer formula, so you can go through to select which function that you wish to use. If I type U, then it is compressing it towards the correct formula which I want to use. And so sum, then we have the sum if, sum product, and I select which one I wish to use as my formula. So let me clean it, and I've shown that one already. Another way to insert a function is to use the tools that is displayed in the ribbon space when you click on the formulas tab. So you go up here in the tab list and locate formulas, then you have to select that from the function library. For instance, you can select auto sum, recently used, but now particularly financial, and it contains a series of functions which you can use and then enter. You can use the logical, we can use the text, date and time, lookup and reference. We have the math and trigonometry. We have more functions that can also be displayed in statistical engineering, the cube, information compatibility, and even the web. And so we have a whole lot of functions, formulas that we can also use. And what you have to do is that you will click on the cell, like this cell has been clicked. You click on the cell, and then you will come to the formula tab, and from the function library, what you have to do is to, let's for instance we want to use the concatenation formula, and so we click on text, and it will drop down the menu for us to select the concatenation. And what it happens is it will open a dialog box where you have to enter in the value. So text 1, maybe you want to concatenate a1 and then a2, so that the text or the values in cells a1 and a2 will be put together as one text or value. And then when you are done, you press OK. So this is how you can also enter your formula. We are just only learning how to do that. We are not performing a calculation because there are even no values or text in here for us to concatenate. And so I am going to click on cancel. But when you have the values there, you can just click on OK, and Excel will recognize the function that you are trying to use. So these are the ways to enter formulas and functions into your worksheet.